Welcome back, everyone. Next up is Zumra. Zumra is a graphic design. Zumra is a graphic design studio based in Beirut, founded in January 2013 by Ayman Hassan and Ziyad Abu Asi, both 2012 graduates from the graphic design department of the American University of Beirut. The process of work from beginning to end is based on expressing thoughts, ideas, and concepts formalistically, culminating in a visual which is seen, experienced, and hence understood, rather than explained. Please welcome Zumra.
In January 2013, Zumra was established. And from that moment, we were directly faced with the question of how do we work together. Having never collaborated on any project before, the task of setting a plan or process was daunting. Through trial and error, and about 11 months in, we created a work model, or better yet, an exercise, that has since been the epicenter of our design process. We lovingly called it 5X.
5X. Boredom is the root of all evil. It is very curious that boredom, which itself has such a calm and sedate nature, can have such a capacity to initiate motion. The effect of boredom brings about is absolutely magical. Søren Kierkegaard.
The process, quite simply, is an exchange of a visual or formalistic creation. The designers have 5 minutes to create anything. When this time is up, they must hand in their respective work to each other, and for the next 5 minutes, intervene on what they have received. Only forms are exchanged, never words, never ideas, never concepts, only visuals.
My dream is to have people work on useless projects. These have the germ of new concepts. Charles Eames.
We had become very good at explaining thoughts and ideas verbally throughout our years. Our imaginations were boundless, as were the blurry words we had to express them. Yet when it came to designing, something always seemed to get lost from thought to hand. A gap we usually filled with words of intentions and origins of ideas.
It is only shallow people who do not judge by appearances. The mystery of the world is the visible, not the invisible. Oscar Wilde.
While exchange of ideas was charged, fast-paced, and effortless, the formulation of that idea seemed to always bring one or both of us to a pause of disappointment. Even an agreed-upon idea, into its very last detail, both conceptual and formalistic, would rarely, if ever, translate to an identical manifestation. We began to see that the problem lied in speech, where we could not comprehend what visual was in the opposite person's head.
Lying is a cooperative act. A lie has no power by its mere utterance. Its power emerges when someone else agrees to believe the lie. Pamela Mayer.
We set 5 minutes as the basic time cycle because we wanted to curb our capability to understand the other's intention. We were looking for exploration rather than a build-up on ideas. Little to no time is left to contemplate a backbone of concept, and hence the process induced only formalistic decisions.
According to TimeManagementNinja.com, the following are a few things one could do in 5 minutes. Tell someone how much you appreciate them. Listen to a motivational song. Pay someone a compliment. Add a new phone number to your address book. Text someone just to say you love or miss them.
Ownership and attachment to a visual was second to fly out the door. One loses ownership of his visual every 5 minutes, where towards the end of the hour, it becomes increasingly difficult to recognize who did what and whose idea it was anyway. Visuals become a homogeneous mixture of two brains instead of a heterogeneous collage of thoughts and manifestations.
Collaboration is dangerous. Inherently, collaboration says something is happening outside of one's immediate control. Harvard Business Review.
With no limitations, the process went left and right, creating an array of visuals with no specific purpose. To embed the missing purpose into the process, we created the first alteration of 5X. We would insert a single rule at the beginning of the process, something arbitrary, such as 20 circles, flare tool, gradients, faces. Generally, we would pick something that made us a bit uncomfortable. That rule had to follow through every 5-minute exchange. It was the constant around which the exchange revolved.
I begin with an idea, and then it becomes something else. Pablo Picasso.
At one point or another, this exercise had to collide with the realities of a brief. The brief was an addition of a third entity with functional and conceptual requirements. Time cycles were increased gradually, allowing for integration of conceptual approaches, yet the gist of the exercise remained constant. We would still exchange only visuals, not words. The extra time allowed the process to culminate into a visual which is seen, experienced, and hence understood, rather than explained. A visual which could be built on formalistically and conceptually, just by seeing it. With this alteration to the exercise, we were able to take a design to the doorstep of finalization. When we would sit down to talk, the discussion would be around formalistic tweaking.
The next time you see a 16-color, blind embossed, gold stamped, die cut, elaborately folded and bound job printed on handmade paper, see if it isn't a mediocre idea trying to pass for something else. Milton Glaser.
5X is an open-ended process that we have been able to adapt to different needs and conditions. We have, as of yet, only tried it on one medium, one software, between two people. But 5X is an ongoing project in and of itself. We want to constantly change it, add to it, simplify, complicate, add factors, add people, shift mediums. Theoretically, there is no limit or boundary.
When I am working on a problem, I never think about beauty. I only think about how to solve the problem. But when I have finished, if the solution isn't beautiful, I know it is wrong. Buckminster Fuller.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for listening.